Hello crafty friends, I'm Lien from Studio Cato and I'm so happy you're joining me again today. Today should be the last Merry Monday because it's the last Monday before Christmas, but maybe I will just continue this series all year round. It's been so much fun to create a Christmas card at least every week. Now today I am using the Duotone Christmas Tree Stencil by Waffle Flower Crafts, and I showed you that close-up because the point of this stencil is you do the first layer and then you shift it around to line up the trees that are just etched into it, that aren't cut out, with the trees you've already stenciled, and that shifts it around perfectly to do a second tone of inking on there. Now, I am only going to ink it once, and that will be with a rainbow of inks. I used some Concord inks and some Pinkfresh Studio inks. I will list all the colors I used in the description below. I'm just blending those on quickly with my blending brushes, and I'm making sure to overlap the colors in some trees so you get a really nice rainbow blend. It's super easy to blend these trees because they are so tiny, so if you have any imperfections, they are barely noticeable. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed with the purple I picked out. It is very, very dark. I should have stuck to one of the Pinkfresh Studio purples, but I really like the Concord inks as well, and I just wanted to try out the purple again because I hadn't used it in a while. Now I'm finishing it up with green, and I will also bring in some green up in that yellow on the top because I'm going to trim this panel down with a die later, and I didn't want to miss out on the green. Now here's the fun part of this card. I am going to create a foil look with this glitter paste. This is Glitz Glitter Gel by Gina K. And I really love this gel. You can get really nice dimension with it as well if you use a palette knife to apply it. But my favorite way to apply it is with a blending brush, or a blending tool rather. And it's my favorite because it's really easy to apply and because you only use a little bit of product. So this will last you a while if you only use it this way. But also because if you keep twisting your blending tool over the glitter, you get a really flat look because all of the glitters will be flat against the paper and will be in the same direction. So it almost looks like a foiled look because they are so nicely pressed together. So it's definitely not a look you want from your glitter paste every time, but it's a really cool thing to get if you're trying to get a foil look without foil. Now if you do this, make sure to clean that blending tool and that stencil off right away with some room temperature water, some dish soap maybe, and that will clean off your stencil nicely. And this is my finished background. Almost a pity to trim this up later with a die. And obviously I didn't want to cover up much of my background, so I am only adding a sentiment. I am adding two sentiments from my favorite things, and the first one is this hay, or this scripty hay die. I'm not sure what it's called. Let me check. Well, I've checked now and it's just called hay, so that doesn't clear up anything, but I will make sure to list it in the description below. I cut it twice from thick white cardstock, once from black cardstock, and I am layering those all together with the Barely Art Precision Craft glue. And then for my final layer, I die cut this from holographic gold cardstock. But I am going to not layer this right on top of there. I'm going to offset this a little bit. So the black will show on the sides and underneath it a little bit. So you get a nice shadow, and it sets the gold apart a little bit more from that gold on our card background as well. So you can't really see it on camera because I'm working on a dark surface, but you will see it in the end result. Now for my sub-sentiment, I used the Itty Bitty Holiday stamp set, also by My Favorite Things, which has just some lovely sentiments that have a really nice neutral script. And I am just stamping that in Versamark ink onto black cardstock, and I will emboss this with Wow Bright White Superfine Embossing Powder. And once that's heat set, I will die cut this out with one of the Itty Bitty matching dies, also by My Favorite Things, of course. To add some dimension to this, I put a piece of cardboard behind my background panel, and I glued that together with the Barely Art Precision Craft glue before gluing it on top of my white top folding note card. I'm pressing that in place nicely, and then I can add my sentiment also with the Barely Art Precision Craft glue. And I'm obviously just adding some glue to the parts that will touch the paper. So not the parts of the gold holographic cardstock that are hanging over the rest of my die cut. I'm just adding glue to the lowest parts of my die. For the sub-sentiment, I used a tiny piece of cardboard as well to put in between that hay, and I glued everything else on top of that hay. Then I'm just adding some droplets. These are, what are they called? These are the bubbles by Little Things from Lucy's Crafts, or Lucy's Cards rather. I will list those in the description below as well. They are really, really lovely gems, embellishments. They are just really fun to use, and they're really subtle, so I didn't feel bad using them on this quite busy background. That finishes up my card, but for a matching envelope, I also folded an envelope, an A2-sized envelope, out of soft gray cardstock with my We Are Memory Keepers 123 punch board. I reinforced the score lines with my bone folder, and then I glued it all together with the Barely Art Precision Craft glue. Then once that's done, I am going to bring that stencil back again to add a really, really, really subtle stenciled pattern to my envelope. I am going to do some ink blending with white pigment ink. This is the Unicorn White Pigment Ink from Hero Arts. It's a lovely pigment ink. I have a blending brush dedicated to just this pigment ink, so it doesn't contaminate it with other colors. And this white on this really soft gray is super subtle, but it's still noticeable in real life, and I really like the effect. This pigment ink almost seems to glow on the gray cardstock, so I love it. There you can see the finished envelope, and then I will also show you the lovely sparkle and shine on my finished card. I love that large sentiment by My Favorite Things, and I really like this Christmas tree duotone stencil by Waffle Flower Crafts. You can make such quick holiday cards with this, and it's just a lovely design as well. I hope you like this card too. I hope you like the shine of it, and I hope you like the rainbow. I've been making so many rainbow Christmas cards this year, and I just really like it. If you enjoyed it as well, if you enjoyed the card and the video, please make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video and leave your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to read them. You can also subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my videos. And if you want to see some more videos without waiting for me to upload the next one, I will link a playlist right here on top of this video for you to go enjoy some more Merry Monday videos in the lead up to Christmas. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.